I made it because I like Jenny video so much. It's the rocket out of the like Jenny video. Blast off. Right. What I'm hearing is that this started off as just knocking people off scoreboards to protect times. What I'm saying is you've normalised execution by torture. If the way you think of it is knocking people off a scoreboard, and you are not even in the top 10% of players, you have normalised execution by suicide, torture. I mean, normalised it. For you, just like, oh well, this is how we play the game. Is that right? You fucking serious? So, excuse me, sir. I heard you're a psychopath. I heard you're a psychopath, sir. What's that like? Do you taste colours? Or you just find stupid people really annoying? Well, why are you so stupid, sir? I don't understand it. You realise you're stupid, don't you, sir? Oh, you see that, like, you see the thing where the guy's basically, that's basically a headlock. When we come round that corner and he gets me in this locked position where I can't do anything, and then I flip it all round and just drive off. That's literally what it's like to fight me. That is exactly the experience people have fighting me. You're like, fight like a girl. I don't fight like a girl. I fight like a dog. And I mean, I fight exactly like a dog. That's exactly how I fight. Really sorry, minor philosophy here. Because to fight like a woman is to fight like, if you don't fight, you might die or be horribly injured. So you have to fight to the maximum. Fighting like a dog is fighting in a way that you don't overfight. Because if a dog overfights, a dog gets put down. So you say fight like a girl because there's no consequences to your actions. I say I fight like a dog because there's always consequences to my actions. If a dog fights back, a dog can't get away. A dog's locked in that house with you. The dog owner doesn't even need to call the police. They can say, well, it choked on a bone, chuck it in the bin. I definitely don't fight like the characters in Batman. I definitely don't playfully like Harley Quinn in movies. I definitely am not like that at all. That's definitely not me. There's no way that could be me. There's absolutely no way. I could be Deadpool. No way. I'm not special. Are you special? You're probably special. Right, I did change my name to Deadpool on A6. That's true. So, I do have a profile photo, but it doesn't have a picture of me. It just has a picture of me in his light trance. Don't I look just like my dad? I really want to look at that again, so lap 60. Need to remember lap 60. If I play it now, we'll just lots of fun. Oh, I saw a hideous scam on eBay. When I saw it on the phone, it said it was a 28-inch or 16-inch widescreen Trinitron for 160 quid, which is like an old school display of these. You should be looking at like 500 quid or something, because it really is a special item. Like a 16-inch is it's not very good, but it's a special item. A 28-inch should be probably like the peak, and a 32-inch should just be standard, because everyone had a 32-inch widescreen CRT TV. So every house that someone's abandoned, every farmhouse, every garage still has CRTs in it. People are like, I think there's people who acquire and then deny. Like MR2s, all the MR2s are getting bought by a couple of people. Or they were all bought by a couple of people who had the roof stripped. So some guy with like 100 roofs, and no one can have a roof anymore, because a roof used to be 250 quid. But because this guy's had it through his hands, you have to pay him a 500 quid Robin Hood, like what's his name? Like a 500 quid highwayman tax, because it's been through his hands. So he's got all the roofs, and all the roofs are 750 quid. The roofs are all 250 quid. You wouldn't believe it, I told you. Anyway, it's really bad. So this guy, 160 quid, it looks like it's a 16-inch awesome TV. And you open it up, and it says at the bottom that you couldn't read before, and there was no ellipses or anything to say that it was incomplete, which is obviously not how it should be. It should have ellipses on in the original title. So open it up, looking at it, and it's now a remote. So it's £160 remote, which, I mean, honestly, dude, fair enough. I think it's an 80 quid remote or 100 quid, right? If it's a specific one and you're like, oh, this is mint condition, but somewhere there's a factory with 1 million of them. So then it's it's a used, so it's a 50 quid remote to an 80 quid remote, and you're charging 160 quid for it. Unless it's I didn't look, because I was in such a bad mood, because it was a picture of a fucking TV. So, pardon my friends, it was a picture of a television. So, you're positing that you have the television, because it says television, and the type of television, because it's the remote control for the type of television, not the item number of the remote. So you get there and you don't notice that, because it just pops up and you're already going to purchase because it's such a good deal and it's the only one there and you're so excited. And you've got a box of those remote controls. A great big box. And if someone tries to return it, I bet it's all the pain in the world. And I bet you absolutely love it. So you should be in jail. You should be in jail you are a sadistic scammer. eBay, probably because some of your mates in this weirdo gangster cult, you all do the same thing, right? Anyway, I threaten them. What you do is you withhold by control, and then you get someone to perform a sequence of acts for you, which basically does something for you. Buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Go to this place, go to that place, get this job. And someone tries the hardest, and they get to the top and they say, well, no, that's not good enough, right? I don't like your attitude, start again. And you do that forever. So I call you go to 10, just go back to the start. But it's all the same. You've all basically, by way of communication network and social networking and use of like the same tools, it's a small world, and you've basically condensed yourselves into one criminal organization. Like the people selling the software are the same as the people doing this, doing that, because you all talk to each other on the same social networks. So you are effectively a single, cohesive, intelligent group. Called Go to 10. Go to hell. Go to 10. I'm sorry, I have really bad. It's not like delusions of grandeur, because I'm not really very grandiose. Like delusions of innocence. Delusions of being unreasonably cool and collected. Delusions of not having a really big fucking mouth. So I have no inputs, right? The turbo is at zero. The revs are at like 2000, which is effectively zero. The car is dead. And it is being pulled as if on a string. And you can see there that basically I should be dead stop. I am being dragged by a force equivalent to what's it's on the G meter. Someone has an elastic band dragging me sideways. And it's really obvious. So here we go, braking. Watch the massive pulse of brake. Watch how much brake I get as soon as I touch the brake. Absolutely massive stop, massive stop, massive stop, massive stop. Now I'm being dragged. So look at my controls, full at the bottom, accelerate, just half brake, full brake, no brake, nothing, no input, hold. So no brake, I'm not holding a brake or anything. And I'm accelerating sideways. And you see how that thing's going side to side all the time? That's how much force I'm customarily being dragged by. So this thing actually shows you exactly what's going on. So now you know that when it's going mad pulse on it, the dial on the left that's a rosette denotes G-force. It doesn't look like it denotes G-force because it's gone crazy. But for most people, that should be within the first centre. And the middle, the next one out should be sort of quite extreme. And basically, you should never really touch the outside edge. And you can see mine's going mad all the time. And that is effectively someone pulling at the car with a force. That's why it's going mad, really powerful, and going straight ahead. You see when I do these, like, I do serpentines down this track, and it totally maxes out the indicator. Like, just from going left, right, it goes, well, at least it goes 2/3 or higher, which is as much as this cone here. So just watch the mad meter. I'll turn off all the car controls so they're not in the way. And just concentrate on that left dial, just being ever so crazy. And let's start from the start. Now, that should have been like one dot. That should have been that massive up. That should be like 1 or 2. And it fades in because the further away you are, the more it breaks you. Because obviously you're trying to brake as little as possible into the braking manoeuvre. So as soon as you as much as touch the brake lightly, it goes full brake. And then it starts pulling you. Pulling. So that means I'm being pulled to the side, because that should be, on anyone else's game, that'd be like a third. Because this is me under full max acceleration, and you can see it's only barely going, so I'm not even getting full acceleration. What I'm getting is massive amounts of braking before one braking, and a huge amount of side-to-side pulling. So just remember that saying, pulling to the side, so now it's going G-force to the right, G-force to the left, and that's G-force forward and right, G-force, like pulling you back into your seat, G-force, to the right, pulling you into your seat, pushing you out of your seat towards the window. So it's not a turning motion, it's literally the force pulling to the side, or straight ahead, or straight behind. That's a lateral G rather than a centripetal. I am 99th percentile. I really do put up with this endlessly because I see an end to it where you're all in jail. I'm not messing about. Have you ever watched Law Abiding Citizen? No, it's not the prison break concept. It's like the sort of um, the spite, the spite of someone who's in the right, righteous spite. Well, he's a cartoon character in a movie trying to explain a mindset. I'm the actual mindset. Watching this makes me really want to play the game, but it makes me remember that I don't want to play the game while you're ruining the game. Have you seen? We never really replay the bits of it, but have you seen the 2 or 3 times where it's actually given me the game? I just got to carve it up. I had it in that skyline, the first skyline, that green and white skyline. I did drift gun, and I had like half a quarter lap or something of the game. And I think I had like a little bit of the game, like about an eighth of a lap today, and maybe a little bit of a lap the day before yesterday. It's less than none now, isn't it? See, when you're all locked up, I'm gonna like tingle and shine because all the stuff you do to me suppresses all my body's sort of like happy instincts. And when you're all in jail and your shit's all turned off, I'm gonna be like that Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna be fucking amazing. Do you know how long I've had it? You let me have it for like about half a second to 5 seconds. And I've had it twice in the last 20 years. The feeling in my own body without anything constricting. Literally for less than 10 seconds twice in the last 20 years. And most of you are going to hell. Like, you're already there. But those of you who are just have nothing to do with anything, just like horrible, having a lovely time being horrible at everyone else's expense. I hear jail's lovely this time of year. Have you been around the court system? There's so many lovely, interesting characters to meet. You're going to have auxiliary time. Say 5 words that you feel right now. I am tired, stressed, tense, anxious, lopsided. Do you know the single thing that I'm not doing? I'm not worrying. My mother was a worrier. I've learned that worry is like inaction or impotence. Like if you're worried because you're waiting for something to happen, and you might be trying to control the circumstances, which I never do. So I never really I abandon all hope. He who enter here. Might as well be my motto. You've already lost. You're already dead. The worst is yet to come. That's my words. What are yours? Work for the weekend, party, double down, get a mortgage, hire purchase, lease a car. Do you think if I was renting, I would fucking show you pictures of my fucking cannabis tent? You would take those pictures and you would demand that my landlords throw me out to the police. You're nuts. And I know why there's another one of you born every minute. Because you're too stupid to use contraceptives. Now, if you're wondering why everyone hates me and I've got no friends, it's not actually that. It's because I'm so irritating and I hurt so many feelings of so many thin-skinned man-children and women babies that they become addicted. They don't have reliance without each other. Together they are strong. Like yesterday we went by to the police thing, right? Like police, like every live time someone's saying bully when I come to channel. But every like the radio, as long as it's live, someone's saying bully. And I'd like to tell you that I am not a bully. I am not a bully. I am a person who does not take shit. And there are an awful lot of people standing underneath this umbrella. I'm sure Jehovah will tell us all about it when someone teaches him to write Chinese or whatever. It's like basic stuff like move 100 meters. Oh, move 100 meters. Yes, we want to move 100 meters. At least we want to move 100 meters. Size stuff like that. Like these YouTubers are always running, like some, like just Chinese problem, just the whole thing, just the non-phonetic alphabets, all the pictographic alphabets. It's just synonyms, pictorial synonyms. It's not a big deal. Jehovah's a god. I'm not fucking about it. Don't dare fuck about it. The Emperor of Mankind shrugs. That's fundamental Jehovah. The one that's not been copied. Like, it's electronic things and largely useful. Like, just things that all that really matters is the little white disc with the G-forces in it. And I suppose the rev counter has got a bit going on there. Seconds, but that's also the bottom left. These are the important things. The other thing just sort of happened because a marmoset died and had a dream for 5 billion years or something like that. It's all just black and white. It's obvious. It's black and white and it's obvious. It's just obvious for everyone who's got a dog or a cat or birds in the garden. It's just obvious. The one person everyone listens to is the marmoset. So the marmoset gets to learn to write. It's just a fucking marmoset. It's going to write dumb marmoset shit, but I want it to be able to fucking read and write. It's a fucking marmoset. It's not for doing your fucking school homework. It's for doing right and wrong at a fundamental level. And I want him, I suppose, to be able to read and write. In pictograph. Specifically because it's massive. Whichever ones he likes the fucking shapes of. That's what he's saying now. What's happened is you're used to infinite Jehovah's not being here. Now you have infinite Jehovah's not being here, and our Jehovah with us. He's a marmoset. He has marmoset thoughts. He is not for gala dinners. It's like a thermometer. But I would like the thermometer to be able to read and write. Because the thermometer is capable of reading and writing. And in a pictographic language, there are no phonetic words, only visual concepts, or physical concepts, or metaphysical concepts, or conceptual concepts, but nonetheless all singular and conceptual, and this is fine. But if the fucking marmoset, and I mean the fucking marmoset, is going screech, 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 rather than listen to it go fucking screech, 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 I want it to be going, get me a fucking dictionary. End of story. Considering the state of the industries relating to the sea, I'm kind of expecting its first words to be like kill, kill, kill. Yeah, the Khmer Rouge or some mad shit. None the fucking less. you know, like in Star Wars Episode 4, when Obi-Wan Kenobi was, Obi goes, I sense like shifting force. Like that thing just went into time. Well, it was all the monkeys. And the thing was want to be able to fight his beast. Look, for the past years, I like my wallpaper to change. For the past years, I've been staring at some monkey sitting on top of a stone monkey. I can't be bothered to change it. I can't even remember what computer it was on. I can't see it now. I don't think it came and went. I think it just was, and now it isn't. But I'm entirely like monkey aware. I'm not kidding. The guy has been sitting on as his statues for I don't know how long, and I'm not in like he's going to have opinions of like the world he's dreamed into creation. Do you understand? It's difficult to properly understand. Jehovah has been sitting in heaven at 50 million times speed, where one of our seconds is 50 million seconds, staring at us in statues, communicating to us all through simulacrum, which is super high technology. So, Captain Kirk, as it turns out, is a marmoset. So I want to hear Captain Kirk's fucking opinion. And I don't want to hear anyone else's fucking opinion coming from his little fucking paws. And I know it sounds insane, but he has just spent forever, since the 1980s, which someone can like literally, say like, when did that final countdown come? Because I think that's when he timed out. So from then, times 50 million, he's been just staring at us. And it's not his job to run shit when he comes back. It's his job to be himself. So I don't want to be hearing all of you. I don't want to be like watching people doing monkey impressions through a fucking monkey. Anyway, we used to have in church, conceptually, Jehovah, our Jehovah. Our Jehovah is currently a bundle of cells. Our Jehovah is no longer 50 million to 1. Our Jehovah is 1 to 1. We are no longer in us time, we are in Jehovah time. Jehovah was originally incarnated before the comet. I suppose because we were getting cometed. So the planet begged God for a Jehovah of its own. And this is our Jehovah of its own. He's a fucking marmoset. Specifically, he's a marmoset. He understands things as a marmoset. So go and look at a marmoset. That's the guy that saves the world all the time, or whatever. But he's just spent 50 million times 35, 40 years. It's about like 1 billion years. Just looking at us and kind of thinking a thought and going away and looking at all of us, thinking a thought, just in a dream state forever. He knows all of us. Since the last time we saw him, he's aged 1 billion years or something. I don't really care about anyone's opinions of anything He is a marmoset, so he's going to be a marmoset, and he's going to live a marmoset life. But within that marmoset life, that little motherfucker is going to have to learn to fucking read and write. Other than that, I don't give a shit other than people leaving the fuck alone. He's not a holiday attraction. He's not a leader of anything. He's the fucking marmoset that thinks he's fucking responsible for the entire fucking planet. So he's just going to sit the fuck about and do marmoset shit. And if he's got a fucking grievance, I expect to see it fucking written. Because his previous regime seemed to be one in front of bus. Don't mess with the incarnated God. The incarnated God is not here to fix all man's problems. The incarnated God is here to have a well-deserved rest. I don't know, nor do I define what marmoset shit is. When he comes of age, seemingly about 5, we'll all get to hear what the fuck marmoset shit is, won't we? A lot of people listen to the fucking marmoset. So get used to it. Go watch Madagascar or something. Read all the Curious George books and come and give me your fucking educated opinions that I can learn from you. I don't want to listen to a marmoset's English grammar. I want to know what a marmoset is trying to convey. Fortunately, I don't have to learn the entire character set of every language. I only have to learn the ones he's learned. And that's only if it's decide that you're all stupid and can't translate it properly. But then again, I'd be taking... Anyway, I just listen to him scream. I'll get a club. without all the stuff, without trying to see the key presses, and rather just trusting that I'm trying to go around the corner and it stops working every time. And as soon as you start realizing that I'm trying to go around the corner and it stops working every time, and that I'm having to correct every single input with a counter input, you start to get to understand what torture is actually like in the long run. This is Chinese water torture. This is death of 1,000 cuts. Traditionally, you'd be working in the kitchen and just keep on cutting your finger. So just cut your wrists instead. Well, it might be quite a lot of back ago. And people have been lying to a lot of people in China about a lot of things. Then we've got the Chinese wishing a lot of ill on pure trust for you, which is based on trust in my sister, who is trustworthy in your eyes because she has or had a vagina. There's a British ad, it was like last year, all last year, there's a British ad. And a black, it's like a Chinese guy or maybe a Korean guy, like, that's so very, I suppose EC. This guy, and then this Korean lassie, and then this white chick. And the white chick's got like this golden earpiece and this like goddess haircut and this aura and this glow. And she's like seemingly in the adverts, in control. And then there's the woman, the three women, I guess, who's translating between the guy from the EC, who's talking one language, to the white woman, who's talking another language. And the guy is looking visibly upset. And he's obviously saying everything's wrong, it's all going wrong, oh my god, everything is on fire, help, send a fire, send an ambulance, send it right now. And the Korean woman's sort of going, oh right, and then bald-faced lying to the white woman and going, oh no, everything's fine, it's brilliant, we've really got things under control. And the white woman goes, oh right, yes. And then smugly turns a little headset off and goes, I've got all this right. That's my sister. That's Amal. She's in Nephilim now. Look, if you wish ill on these people who've disappeared into what you might as well call Roman Catholic hell, you're just asking for basically a lesson, to be finding life lessons in your dreams. If it's like, oh, they're actually not destroyed and they're actually completely whole and they're in hell, and now you're talking to them in hell like they're Marley's ghost. Your entire fate rests on their bloody blah. They're the only person you can communicate with heaven with or some mad shit like that. So don't be going poking fun at the vanquished. Yesterday, I was very firmly told in preparation for Jehovah being a real person that Jehovah and Jehovah's witness taught me into existence. So, there's like, the whole thing's in a very fundamental way. I can't be bothered. If he has a concept, I want to see the concept in green. I don't care if it takes 1,000 years. I don't care if it takes 5,000 years. I don't care if it takes 10,000 years. I don't care if 50,000 years we're still on what types of food he likes. Okay? I am told it has been customary for Jehovah to write in English. So I don't need any of your shit, dog. Shut the fuck up, bro. Motherfucker, speak. Fucking monkey. My neck. You know, wanna he her grammar. So I wanna know what he feeling. I think after this, what do we call that event again? The NSX. Yeah, I've got the civil system. I don't really think I'm good at liveries. I think I'm good at art. Like people, I see all the liveries, and all the liveries look the same, but they all look cool. but mine don't look good next to the teeth. I just see a car's canvas, but it's like a race car or something that's supposed to look fast. It's funny because ruffled feathers, when you ruffle someone's feathers and they're pussy, it's a bad thing. If a bird ruffles their feathers, it's a good thing. Generally, because I like women selling fur. Well, there's all kinds of ruffling. You're talking about ruffling by the wind, but the birds can ruffle themselves. Have you ever seen a pigeon? They can turn all the feathers into their back into like a hexagon pattern. Blackbirds or starlings can do diamonds. I think it means they're in a particularly good mood because they kind of look like they're sort of like happy, sort of puffed up. Like what's the what's that thing you get in the skin of chicken wings? When all your hair's like that, kind of looks good. It has patterns to it. I've had an earthworm climb on top. Like I had a conversation with an earthworm that was just on the path as to whether it would prefer to be on the path or in my hand, and it decided it would rather be in my hand. And so I chucked it over the wall onto the grass. It's everything of the old people. I don't get that. Everyone has had that. Actually, that's beautiful. It was the appearance of agenda. Seemingly, we're now archangels and our time doesn't. And wherever you go, you trip over an archangel. So, but forever onwards, just how I put it. After this, I'm going to try and laboriously go through all 18 laps of the beta ladder, so we have a full visual recording of being humped. Sadly, along with the audio recording of me being humped. This is the one, isn't it? Oh, we just had it. We just had it. I zoned out. I was like, oh, lap 60. Oh, I must have just worked at crash. It's, I'm just transcendental as fuck. Well, the thing is, this isn't my comfortable place because I can't go transcendental with the TV off. I don't have a comfortable place, so I'm not suitable for him. My sister thought she negotiated to be on the beach, surrounded by other deck chairs, just sort of like sitting in the sun forever is her comfortable place. But she failed to die on the beach. So she and Will are both forever just sitting in their living room, each other, transcendentally, just constantly being transcendental. I guess the idea is you constantly snooze or something. So I don't even like wake up restful. I like wake up tossing and turning, go to sleep tossing and turning, constantly with a crack in my neck. So I don't really have a comfortable place. A place where I just, supposedly, like, you can have a fully sort of aware existence, but my understanding is that's based largely on bullshit and being sat somewhere and being transcendental. So I don't intend to ever be sit in heaven. Listen, my understanding is when people like me die, we just end up in somewhere. Like we just sort of become somewhere else. Like whoever's nearest is like, oh right, well I'm this body now. Which must be very uncomfortable. So exactly. We need to have a world without ghosts. Like Jehovah's right Jehovah right now is he's only like a few thousand cells or whatever he is. As a ghost. He's bound to this world and he's not coiled, but he's not in his body yet because it's not fully developed. So he's a ghost. And ghosts survive by using other people's brains, which is fine when you're Jehovah and everyone needs you. But when you're just Joe Blogs, you need to just get processed along. So stop clinging to people, let go. That's how the whole chain is going. It's a blood feud, but it's a blood feud of everyone versus you. So it's more a like a like a blood siege rather than a blood feud. The only way to access the data is that I've found so far is to go back to the track it was created on. Was that my pilot pigeon? It's sort of sitting right in the glare of the sun. It's just Yas Marina. Well, it's like when you can press a button and make someone like say things, it's sort of a bit annoying. I'm glad you're having a nice time, and you think that somehow it's going to end up with you being super cool and shit. But oh, you're all such meanies. Mean, 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 mean. So mean. Mean, 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 mean. Dum, 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 dum. So mean. Look how unique every lap speed and RPM covers. Like the graph, everyone's like a fingerprint. And the centripetal, the one at the bottom left, like it's got looks like a little helmet, and sometimes the helmet looks smaller because they've done more extreme actions. So you see all the little tiny dots on the left underneath where it says centripetal on the bottom left. There you go, that was it. A big sweeping move to push the car off the track. It's literally someone playing a game. This one's like a touchpad. I think what happens is people like play the game of trying to knock the car off the track on their phone or something, and it sort of shows up in different ways. Like some people have got a joystick, and some people have got a touchpad, and some people have got various means. But this looks like a touchpad, and then it looks like a joystick, and then it looks like a joystick. Oh, better off waiting until the end to change the things that hides this typical acceleration on the final corner. See, this one's again completely unique, and it's got a tiny little helmet because it's got a big scratch out to the left, bottom left. There it is. That was to try and spin the car into the wall. And I think on speed and RPM, where it's all like dots at the top, that's where it's losing grip and acceleration, and dots at the bottom and losing grip braking or engine braking. But it's where like reality of the simulation's been broken and there's just no grip to the tyres, so the markings have gone extreme. This should be ideally one, two, three, four, five angled lines with like a line underneath them from engine braking. and maybe a bit of fuzziness from drift from loss of grip and acceleration. But they should be distinct lines. They shouldn't be like rain or mist or whatever they are at the moment. Well, the point is, it shouldn't be a helmet. It should be a cross. And really, it should be a line because it's not really, it's not, it's basically spin. It should only really show the car spinning, but it's not what it shows. It's showing things like lock up in the LSD and weird overbraking. The centrifugal, basically, I think when it's above the line and the centrifugal on the bottom left, it means the front wheels are being lifted up. I think when it's down the bottom, it means the wheels are being at the rear are being locked into the ground or pushed off the ground. Say, yeah, that's it. Basically, it's when it's there, that's the nose being lifted, and when it's down the bottom, that's the rear being lifted. What's the other way around? Yeah, that's them taking away grip. That's them adding grip to a rear tire or taking like it's all kinds of weird stuff. If you actually watch closely, there's you can see the front wheels have got drive to them, and there's someone driving the front wheels slightly to the right and slightly to the left. It's just crazy. Like there's a bunch of induced glitches related to acceleration and braking, and you can see it as kind of a jostling in the wheel, not the thing where it looks like it's buckled, but like just where it looks like the wheel goes forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, or grips and loses grip, grips and loses grip, and that's just basically glitching a part of the simulation that brings in a different kind of grip dynamic. It's just constantly hitting that and going grip that like you reset grip, reset grip, reset grip. Playing, trying to play. Watch this go around. Probably trying to play Fortnite and trying to play get into a ranked match and sensing someone press cancel and then watching the cancel come up was basically the end of any reasonable discussion. The discussions had been had in your groups. We've been in your groups and we've talked to you and you've laughed at us and mocked us. We've done it from the start, and that's where we got the Navy SEAL copy pasta. But like the people you're playing against in FPS games really are active service members and police. They really are. It's a bunch of kids and the police and the army and the navy and the air force because no one else wants to play shooty shooty pew pew games or vroom vroom games. They want to be going out in the fresh air and enjoying themselves in the company of other people who they really enjoy just hanging about with and having like chats about TV and I don't know, cheese or like or what they think they're going to do tomorrow and like fucking boring shit like that. We just want to like fantasize about killing each other. So that's why we're like practicing that as we have since we we're children. Yeah, obviously, obviously. I don't know, it's a bit flawed. People have to come through their shock. Talking about internet personalities and such. Can you see the way I do a nice little corner because someone's trying to screw me up and I outthink them and I do a nice little corner and they literally have a temper tantrum and try and throw my car at the wall. When you've seen all the thing, you've suspended all your disbelief and you're like, all right, well, this is just actually happening. You can see them just throwing the car at the wall like that, like it's a rock on a string, or getting pulled by an elastic band. It's like there's so many different ways to induce forces. But just looking at the car does a pretty good job of visualizing it. Can you see how it's torture though? Like we're lap 10 here, and we've just watched 10 or like 5 to 10 distinct different profiles. Just bully me. And remember, this is my all day, every day, to the point at which at the checkout with my bank card wasn't working, and then the people in front of me's bank cards weren't working. There's nothing to pay, there's time to be served. Well, Jehovah's a fucking marmoset, dude. Sadly, it's going to take a long time for Jehovah to change human law so that you can all be spared incarceration. Until then, think good thoughts toward Jehovah and wish him good lessons in Chinese or whatever. Dude, he's a fucking marmoset. He speaks marmoset, which is largely like screech, screech, fucking screech, screech, screech. Chinese is a conceptual language. You don't need words, you need ideas like food or direction or up, down, bad person, good person, smash with rock. Don't smash with rock. This is the form of language I need from Jehovah. Maybe bridge go here, I don't know, like it depends if he gets an ornamental garden. But he's a marmoset. No. English and other romanticized languages are based on phonetic communication. Apple starts with A and is made of syllables, none of which have fuck all to do with an apple. Pictographic languages, like Chinese, just say apple. Picture mean apple. Picture mean put apple inside self. Picture mean go to apple. Picture mean I dream of apple, which also means where is apple, right? Synthetic, absurdist nonsense. Awake or asleep, he's always God Jehovah. All it is could you imagine if you were like how many lifetimes can you remember? Because I've got this one. But Jehovah can remember the impact that destroyed the planet that became the labyrinth. And probably before that, like long before that. Like if you go back, he's probably got 100 comets. This is what the universe is like. This is what our planet is like. You don't get to hear what gorillas think because gorillas think, what the fuck are you doing, you you're all mental. Holy shit, they're all so nasty. Do you know what they get up to? That's why you can't hear what the girls say. Like, it's not a coincidence there's dung flowing monkeys in Asia. Well, that's a nice little circle. The centripetal acceleration is a nice little circle in this one. That's really distinct and unusual. They're basically completely denying steering. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to completely deny steering, and they're not paying any attention to what's going on with anything but the steering. And I'm basically riding roughshod over them. I'm using it to go faster. It's just reincarnation. People get reincarnated. People are telepathic. Well, right now, God's the devil. So, I mean, I'd chill out about what God is because you might find out. Because Jehovah's put the devil in charge while Jehovah's growing. So we've probably got the devil for 5 years. What year is it now? 2026. We've probably got the devil till, let's think, oh, 2030. But it's all dependent on what Jehovah thinks and what Jehovah feels and what's Jehovah's relationship with his tummy and other people pretending to be Jehovah in Jehovah and other such shit. Jehovah isn't here for judicial process. Jehovah is here for saying that is wrong. And then everyone going, oh, fair enough, Jehovah. That's what Jehovah's here for. So a lot of you who already know you're doing wrong know what the outcome's going to be. And basically, it's going to be an awful lot of primates screeching, followed by an awful lot of getting dictionaries. Well, how I'll probably start is it'll be like an emotion. And just get used to the character for how, what screech, what particular kind of shrill screeching are we having. And we'll go from there. I'm really not joking. The outcome of this is probably going to be like in about 5 or 10 years. We're all going to be sitting here doing things, minding our own business, and we're going to have some random Chinese character flash up in front of our eyes. Whether or not you're able to interpret it, I have no idea. But it's probably that and shell screeching, and maybe like images of like monkeys throwing poo at you. I have no idea. Well, if you're all going to behave like monkeys, at least live up to the standards of monkeys. I'm awfully sorry. if you're all going to live like chimpanzees, at least live up to the standards of a single marmoset. Here's what I'm going to hazard a guess for. I'm going to guess that marmoset intelligence is like really similar to people with Downs' intelligence. And that's why we're all like people with Downs are so fucking stupid. So prepare yourself for some extremely like rigorous and hard-nosed thinking. Like deep questions. Like expect someone who comes and asks exactly why you're doing something and why you think it might work. And then for them just to not believe you until you prove it. A bit. It's like eating a kumquat with big eyes and spindly fingers. He's simply a marmoset. You know, you're probably a ginger or something, or a Karen. He's a marmoset. Like, you know, you're fat and ugly. He's a marmoset. You know, you can't pronounce your words properly. He's a marmoset. You know how your dog is like really intelligent and stuff. Could you imagine if your dog could speak? Well, your dog would say things like, do you know I could nip you right now? But Jehovah's a marmoset. And Jehovah might just say things like, what are you doing? How does that work? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want that outcome? Like very simple marmoset questions with very Jehovah thinking behind it. You're all used to Jehovah being dead, so it's time to get used to Jehovah being alive. And Jehovah is a marmoset. And I will not hear any what if Jehovah was a human, because Jehovah is a marmoset. Jehovah is always a marmoset. And we will not be making Jehovah into a Homo sapien so he can understand complex things like stock trades and why they're necessary because you feel you should have more money than anyone else. And you know it's kind of a bit of a scam, but it's your scam. And maybe Jehovah would like to be part of the scam too. And then, like, it'd be okay with Jehovah. Jehovah's a marmoset. Jehovah only sees right and wrong.